10 weeks ago, I was in the worst place mentally I'd been in a very, very long time. I was feeling lost. I was feeling extremely burnt out. I was in the worst shape of my entire life. And as an athlete, that's hard to say. However, 10 weeks later, I am now in the best shape of my life. I have found my mission. I found my purpose. I've built new relationships and I've built my business. And it's all thanks to the last 10 weeks. A lot has changed and I 2x'd my life, if not 10x'd my life in the past couple of months. And today in this video, I want to show you how you can do the exact same. I have 6 simple steps that you can follow that if you follow to a T, you're going to improve your life. Because if you're watching this, I know how you feel. You're probably someone who wants to achieve big things. You know, maybe you have a massive goal, maybe you want to be a pro athlete, maybe you want to start that business, but you're feeling a little lost, you're feeling a little stuck. Like I said, I was in your exact situation. And I do have some notes here that I want to reference, but if you've watched any of the videos on this channel, I like to keep them quite raw because this is the style of video that I want to watch. As much information and as much sauce as I can give you as possible. And like I said, today's video, I want to talk about how I can improve your life because from my experience, I completely transformed it in the last 10 weeks. And I do think 10 weeks is a perfect amount of time to change everything. For reference, I'll put up a photo of where I was before and I'll put up a photo of where I was or where I am now. And like I said, this was me 10 weeks ago because I spent 4 years living in the US. I just moved home to Ireland, where I'm from, and I felt terrible. I felt lost. I felt lonely. I had no drive, which for me, someone who is entrepreneurial and is motivated, having no sense of purpose there killed me. It genuinely killed me, and it was the lowest I'd been in so long. You know, I had a pretty tough couple of years, but generally this burnout hit me like a you know what. But the only reason I give you that information and I give you that background is because it gives you more of a perspective on how I can help and how I can give you more information and how I can help solve your problem. Because a lot of the athletes and the entrepreneurs that I work with are people who are feeling stuck and feeling a bit lost and, you know, have these huge goals. And in reality, if you've clicked on this video, it's probably you. But I think it's important to note that, especially if you know that you want to, achieve more, you know that you're meant for more in life, and it's almost planted in you from young. I was speaking to some entrepreneurs recently about how they knew from a young age that they were meant for more, that they were different. You just knowing that and you not taking action is killing you. And I think that's obviously where this brand was built around, was the concept of starting. But again, you clicking on this video and you knowing that you're meant for more, it's just halting your progress. You're not taking any sort of action. You know, you have all this potential within you, yet you're not doing anything with it. I think it's funny, you know, us as humans, everything is just energy. Realistically, we don't want to get wishy-washy, but everything is energy. You sitting right here, you have potential energy sitting inside you. And it's up to you to use that potential energy and use it for creation. You know, it doesn't have to be YouTube videos. It doesn't have to be a business, but creation can be you making people feel happy or you helping yourself achieve your own goal. But enough waffle. I do think that there is 6 simple steps that I followed over the last 10 weeks that completely transformed my life. And I think the Pareto principle, or the bang for your buck, is best applied here, because I wanted to narrow it down into 6, because yes, there was a lot of stuff that I changed, a lot of things that needed to change, but there's 6 key areas that I do think are essential. Okay, and we're going to go through them here. The first thing is set your goal. And I do think goal setting is an incredible and an important aspect of any person's goal, but I think we need to set bigger goals. You know, I think a lot of us are settling and a lot of us are not chasing big enough goals. And, you know, if you have that feeling inside you that you're meant for more, your goals need to scare you. And your goals need to be so ambitious that if you said it to the average person, they would laugh at you. And I know, again, it's hard to admit it. It's hard to admit that you want to achieve financial freedom, or it's hard to admit that you want to win certain awards, but you have to admit to yourself first. You don't need to tell anyone. You don't need to tell everyone. You can just say to yourself that I truly want to achieve X goal. And like I said, if it doesn't scare you enough, then your goal isn't big enough. So for me, I knew I wanted to get in the best shape of my life. Again, that's a pretty outrageous goal considering, I've been an athlete for my whole life. I've been fit, I've been healthy. I've had a lot of injuries in the last couple of years, so I knew that I needed to devote time to myself. And that's what I did. I lost 5 kilos, I gained a shit ton of muscle. And again, the fact that goal in itself, the fitness goal, was a key area of the other goals that I had within my business and within my life. That drive that I got from hitting my macros, and obviously we'll get to this in a second, but hitting my macros and training with a structured plan, again, transferred over into the rest of my life and my business, which was so important. So setting that goal that's extremely out there is so key. And I do think, writing it down, having a journal, and keeping note of your progress should be incorporated too. But the second thing, and I know, again, I'm a coach, of course I'm going to say this to you, but I think having a coach is hugely important. And it doesn't really matter who the coach is. And of course, I'm saying this from a biased perspective, but having a coach is so important because they're there to hold you accountable. Not only just accountable, but they're also there to hold your hand through a difficult process. You have someone who can put their arm around you when you're going through, maybe you haven't hit your calories, or maybe you're starving in a deficit, or maybe you're having a down day because other things in your life are affecting how you perform in your job, in your business, in your real life, in the gym. Having someone there who actually cares about you and who actually has and thinks about you on a day-to-day basis is so important, man. Because think about it, if you are striving for those massive goals, it's likely that you don't have many friends. You don't have many people that are checking up on you because you have these big goals, and that's okay. But having someone there in your corner who can fight some of the battles with you, again, it's not a paying, almost client relationship. It's a friend relationship, which is so important. So pick your coach wisely, first of all. But having someone in your corner, whether it be a fitness coach, whether it be a life coach, or whether it be both, that's obviously what we do, but having one, and especially if you have these business goals, but you also want to get in good shape, having someone there who is an all-rounder is so important too. But that's a shameless plug. We'll leave that to later. But the third thing is the training plan itself. And even just creating a training plan. Look, man, you can make one of ChatGPT and stick to it and you'll achieve results. But having someone there who can, build out a structured plan and build out a exact plan for your body and your body type and your goals is so important. I will say, a lot of us have excess body fat. And I think the saying lean is law is very, very important. The respect that you gain and you garner from being in good shape is not talked about enough. And for me, who is a coach and got a degree in exercise science, but wasn't on the extremely shredded side of things, I wasn't in terrible shape, but I wasn't in amazing shape by obviously Instagram standards. But I kind of knew I wanted to walk the walk before I talk the talk. And, entering a calorie deficit, getting a little leaner, cleaning up your diet is key, cleaning up your sleep, all the other aspects of a training plan. But get rid of some of that body fat, man. It makes you slow, it makes your brain slow. And obviously, if you're an athlete, yes, having extra body fat is not a good thing. But I think in business too, if your goal is to build a business, you should not be slacking on your health, because your health is the foundation of everything. So build your plan. Like I said, get AI to do it for you if you want. Get a coach to do it for you, whether it be high rocks, whether it be bodybuilding, whether it be, running. It doesn't matter what it is, but having something to stick to every single day is so, so important and should be done. The fourth thing is the secret sauce, man. You've stayed for whatever it's been, 10 minutes. This is the secret sauce. The fourth thing is build the person capable of achieving your goal. I don't want to go too detailed into this because I could be here forever. But if you currently were the person who could achieve your goal, you would have already achieved it. Let me say that again. If you were the person who could achieve your goal, you would have already achieved it. So what areas need to change? I'm going to leave that up to you. It can be your health. It can be your skills. It can be your identity. There's a couple of other things there that, again, I won't get into, but like I said, that is the sauce. Build that person who is able to achieve that goal. If your goal is to make $100 million, what does a person who has already made $100 million do on a day-to-day basis? How do they act around everyone? And what do they think like? What are they constantly thinking of? Are they on TikTok all day? Probably not. Are they scrolling YouTube? Are they, eating fast food? Like, if you become the person who's capable of achieving that goal, it's only a matter of time until it's inevitable. The fifth thing I want you to know: reject anything that isn't your goal. People, places, things. Reject them. You tell me that you want to achieve a big goal. So get rid of everything that's not that goal. Delete the social media apps that you don't use. Side note, if you're posting on social media for your business, fucking keep them. But if you're using it just for consuming and not creation, you need to get rid of them, or you need to start creating. Shit food, get rid of it. It's slowing you down. It's slowing your brain down. It's slowing your body down. It's decreasing your body's ability to recover. Get rid of them. And people. This is a hard one, man, because people can slow you down too. If you are someone who has big goals, you need to surround yourself with people who have goals bigger than you. You need to get yourself into those circles and where these people are talking about $100 million plays. Not what are they doing on a Saturday night. They're working. These people are working. So it's up to you to either get rid of these people from your life that really don't have any negative or any positive, or any sort of benefit to your life, or slowly distance yourself from them. And I know it's quite hard to switch up on your day ones, and it's not always necessary. You can bring your day ones along with you, man, if you're strong enough. But there are certain people that maybe don't need to be in your life. And it's up to you to either get rid of them or build new relationships with people who are going to benefit your life. Okay? These 6 things, and this is so, so important. You need to be able to persevere. And perseverance is key because times will get tough. There will be so many times where you are down, especially when you have these big goals that no one in your family, none of your friends have ever been on this journey before. No one has almost built something from the ground up that you know of. However, there are millions of people who have done it. So that means it's not impossible. And just because you don't know someone who's done it before doesn't mean that you can't do it. So you need to be able to persevere. You need to be able to push when times get tough. And like I said, times will get tough. And that is where having a coach is so important, and having someone there in your corner to push you when you need to be pushed, but to also put their arm around you when you need an arm around. Going through these ups and downs and going through the holes of your journey will teach you more about life than any college degree or any school education. You have to understand that people who have been successful, people who have built their businesses or achieved these massive goals, have gone through so many setbacks, you can't even fathom, you can't even imagine how many times these people have fallen over, got back up, fallen over, got back up, fallen over. So if you expect, and you said to me that you have these big goals, if you expect to have one little setback, but that's it, or do you expect to actually achieve your goal and not have any setbacks? I think that's very naive, very rich. What you should expect is face ungodly amounts of setbacks. And of course, every single setback that you're going to face is going to teach you lessons. It's going to teach you how to get out of that setback. It's going to teach you skills. It's going to teach you a new identity that you need to develop. But persevere, man. Continue to push, and it's going to get hard. It's going to get hard. No other coach is going to tell that to you. It's going to get fucking hard, especially if you want to achieve goals that others don't. But it's up to you. And I say that because you can do it. I want to hand the baton over to you and tell you that it is possible to achieve these goals and to get the money, to get the watches, to achieve the personal success that you want. And success is obviously relative to you. You know, you maybe don't need the cars, maybe don't need the watches. Others do, and that's fine, that's perfectly fine. But even if you get the watches and you're not happy with your life, at least you went on some sort of journey to actually achieve it. But do not let anyone tell you that you cannot do it. And I've had too many people laugh at me for starting YouTube, for talking about my business, or to dress in the way I dress. Like, there's too many negative people in the world, man. So do not let them get into your reign. You have these big goals, and I'm telling you that it is possible. I promise you. You will never receive any sort of hate from someone who is doing better than you. And the reason that is the case is because they have tried. They were in your position too. The word start came to me when I had my wake up. I became fascinated with that word. The reason is because that word and that action has been taken by every single successful person that you and I know. I tried to bottle that up, and I tried to, with my content and with the program, like, I tried to help you do that, help you take that action to start, because it's the most important part. And you can do it. Like, if you follow the 6 things that I just mentioned, if you do them to a T, you get a coach, you build out a plan, you persevere, you continue to push. Like I said, it's a matter of time before you actually achieve your goals. And I'm rooting for you. Genuinely, I'm rooting for you. And I hope you're rooting for me too, because it's a win-win situation. It really is. So like I said, if you want to follow the 6 steps to a T, you can do it. And you can achieve the goals that you set out. If you need some help, again, and I'm saying this at the end of the video because maybe you do need some help. If you do need some help, you can join the program. There is a link to book a call with me if you really want. But again, I'm not forcing you to book. I don't need your business. I want you to achieve your goals. And if it means, and if you think that I can help you do that, then click the link below and let's see if I can. But other than that, take all that information and start now. It's crucial that you start now. Do not watch this video and do nothing, because you'll stay stuck forever. So close the laptop, close the phone, delete TikTok, get off Twitter, get rid of certain people in your life, get a coach, build a training plan, and go smash your goals, because you can do it.